Gonna go ahead and start the lives everywhere, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and start the lives everywhere. I just gotta make sure that it's actually started. All right, y'all. We're at 700 here on TikTok. I'm about to go ahead and start the lives over on everywhere else. All right, cool. The lives are started over on YouTube. I just had to make sure that they were started over there. I want to know how tonight going for y'all's. Oh man, we're at 666. I gotta take a screenshot of that. I gotta take a screenshot of that. I would take a screenshot of the Black Atheist Coalition real quick. We're at 666 subscribers. What up, Caddy? What up, Caddy? All right, y'all. So far, I'm just going ahead. I just made sure my lives were started everywhere else, and they are started as well. So my lives are started everywhere else. So if you would like to come up and talk about what I have on the board, go ahead and hit that request button. Beauty, you can go ahead and come on up as well, Beauty, because I remember you. We used to be in the groups together. Those little Facebook groups. Facebook, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Facebook was a time. Facebook was definitely a time, but I'm not sure what the heck happened now. I don't know what happened to Facebook nowadays, but Facebook was a time, man. Facebook was a time. But whatever happened to Facebook nowadays, it's just sad. Like it's just not what it is anymore. The groups be empty, nobody be talking. Yeah, I mean, you could go like 2-3 days without a single post in a lot of these groups. Facebook is definitely not what it used to be, man. I think the time passed. And honestly, it's all their fault too. Like it's all of their own fault because they changed too much on it. And then uh Zuckerberg decided to not have fact checking anymore. So now it's all just, like misinformation just spreading around the entire platform. And that's the only way to get engagement is to spread misinformation. It's like not what it used to be. Yeah, man. Everybody left it. Everybody left it alone. Facebook used to be the place to go, but everybody left it alone. All right, I'm gonna open up the lines up in a bit. The call-in line is about to be open.
You are connected as the host. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
All right, y'all. So y'all heard that call-in lines are open. If you would like to talk about what I have on the board, go ahead and come on up. And yeah, I agree with you, Caddy. It's all like it's basically technocracy. What happened with the whole tech industry, basically. Like that's the entire thing of what's going on. That's why that Facebook is not jumping anymore like how it used to. The only reason why I'm on there is just for legacy. Like I go there to catch up with people. The Black Atheist group is still there. The Black Atheist group is still jumping, it's still there. So that's really the only reason why I'm there, because like I still connect with people. I still call people on the Black Atheist Facebook group. But other than that, man, I used to spend hours on there, man. I used to spend hours on Facebook, and now it's just not what it used to be. Just not what it used to be, which kind of sucks. You know what I mean? Kind of sucks. But yeah, guys, so the phone lines are open. 751-7853. All right, y'all. So the phone lines are open. Y'all can go ahead and start calling. I'm calling in. If you want to talk about what I have on the board, if you would like to talk about what I have on the board, go ahead and call in. Ooh, sorry about that. Go ahead and call in. If you would like to talk about what I have on the board, the phone lines are open. Let's go ahead and have a good conversation. Let's get those likes up, y'all. Let's get the likes up. We are at 1,300 likes, y'all. Let's try to get us up to 5K. Let's get to 5K so we can get some people in here. We can get some people who would like to debate and have a discussion. I'm live everywhere on Twitch. I'm on Facebook. I am on 2 or 3 different YouTubes, as a matter of fact. I'm on 2 or 3 different YouTubes, as a matter of fact. So we're just gonna go ahead and wait for anybody to call in. I appreciate that, Resist. Appreciate that. We're just gonna go ahead and wait for people to call in. Let's go ahead and tap that screen. Appreciate y'all for the gifts. Go ahead and tap that screen. Let's try to get as much people in here as we can. We've been having some pretty good discussion, pretty good views. Let's not slow it down. Let's go ahead and keep tapping that screen. Let's go ahead and keep getting people in here. Shout out to the Deconstruction Junction. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the Deconstruction Junction. Let's get up to 4 or 5K within the next few minutes. All right, we're gonna have someone that's gonna call in real quickly. I see Steven over on the Black Atheist Coalition say he'll call in. And Pluto as well. Pluto, if you would like to call in, I see you over on my Black Atheist Coalition channel. If you would like to call in, please go ahead and call in. Yeah, there are definitely different other spiritualities out there. You know, I mean, the Abrahamic ones are not the only ones, and I'm not sure why folks think that they're beholden to follow just the Abrahamic ones, y'all. There are plenty of other spiritual traditions out there, and they're not gonna bite you. You feel me? Those traditions are not gonna bite you. So there are plenty out there that you can follow along with. All right, we got someone who said they were going to call, so I'm just waiting on that person to go ahead and give me a call. And once that person calls in, we'll go ahead and have that discussion. Yeah, it's me. The person who's over on the Black Atheist Coalition, that is me. That is actually me. So yeah, you can call in. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for people to call into the line so I can start having the discussions. If you're watching over on the Deconstruction Junction, shout out to you. If you're watching on Black Atheist Coalition, shout out to you as well. And if you're watching on my channel, Volcy Thoughts, shout out to you as well. I appreciate everybody who's watching me on all the channels. And if you are over on Facebook as well, I appreciate you watching me there. We're just waiting. All right, cool. There is a person that called in. Hey, how's it going? How old are you? What is your name? And do you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God? Hello? Wow. How you call and drop? the person called and then dropped. I don't know why. The person called and drop. I don't know why. We'll see if we get any calls today or we get any guests today. But go ahead and keep liking that live. Let's go ahead and get this out into the algorithm. Let's see how many people we could get in now. I am going a little early. All right, so Steven, you said you're gonna call in, but you called and then you dropped. I don't know what happened there. So go ahead and call again. Yeah, if your phone's lagging, you probably gotta hang up or something like that. I don't know. You probably gotta like close out your other apps. I don't know what to tell you. Yep, go ahead and try again. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get the streaming up. Y'all go ahead and get those likes up. Get those likes up. Get those likes up. We are almost at 4K likes over on the TikTok side. Do appreciate y'all. The man's gonna say his phone lagging. Now he's doing something. All right. All right, bro. All right. All right. So I really hope this is not one of those slow nights. Over on. Why would you text? That is so weird. Why would you text? Caddy, I'm only taking opposition for now, brother. I won't take opposition for now, but I promise I'm gonna do a panel soon because I've been meaning to do panels. So I'm gonna do a panel soon, and when I do panels, y'all definitely gonna know because I'm definitely gonna add y'all up when I do the panels. Why would you text? Like I don't have a like I can't see the text, y'all. The call-in line is only for calls. I can't see any text. That's so weird. Why would you text? Oh man, that is so weird. But yeah, guys, go ahead and tap that screen, call in. If you don't know anybody who would love to talk about this, go ahead and have them call in as well. I'm gonna go ahead and share this live with other people that I know. Oh, whoops, that's gonna cause a problem. Okay, it didn't. It didn't cause too much of a problem. All right, guys. So we're just I mean, yesterday it took some time for people to call in as well, so I'm not too worried about it. Sometimes the phone lines get slow. So yesterday it took some time to call in as well. So right now we're just gonna go ahead and wait on that. We're just gonna go ahead and wait on that, and then we're gonna see what we get. All right, we're just gonna see what we get. But right now, this is the only prompt that I have right now. Can you give me a good reason to believe in a God? I could put up the other prompt that I have. The other prompt that I have is a whole bunch of topics, but I don't want to like overwhelm people. That's the only reason I don't have that one up right now. Okay, wait, we got a call. We do got a call.
Hello?
801, how's it going? How old are you? What's your name? And do you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
I'm over 18 and yeah, I'm Christian and I do have a good reason for you to believe in God.
Okay.
Don't you think you want to like...
Can I have your name, please?
Yeah, just call me... I am the smoke. I am bringing the smoke.
All right, so your name is Smoke?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right, cool. What's the good reason to believe in a God?
I think just for... If it isn't even true, why wouldn't you want to save your soul?
Well, you have to actually show, you have to actually prove to me that a soul exists first. Can you do that?
Are you breathing?
Yeah, I'm breathing because I have lungs, but that doesn't show to me that a soul exists.
How does it not?
Because I have lungs.
So lungs mean your body, right? You're just biological material. But what's inside of it? What's the enema?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean? What's the enema? What's inside of it? What does that mean?
What is the drive within us as a human to just keep going?
Survival. Like we evolved in order for us to survive, so that's what we do.
But wouldn't God help you survive even further?
You have to show that a God exists first. You're simply saying that a God is going to help me survive, but you're not actually proving that one actually exists. You need to show that one exists for me to actually take your claim that is God, that the one that's helping us survive. So how do you show that one actually exists? How do you do that?
All right, here we go. I got a path.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what's the path? Go ahead.
I want to say it's in a collective ability to all of us inherently know that there's something greater inside of us to strive for. and that in itself is the essence of God.
Okay, how do you know that's true?
Well, because we're all breathing and we're all moving towards a greater good.
Nah, we're not all. Well, we're not all moving towards a greater good. There's plenty of people who don't move towards a greater good. But the problem with your claim is that you're saying that because we all strive to survive, which is basically an instinct of evolution, therefore God exists. But that doesn't really show that God exists. That's just a claim that you're making.
Oh man. All right, I'm gonna go talk to my pastor real quick, and I'm gonna give you a call back.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Cool. All right. Very. Wow. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on, guys. We're gonna talk to 847 right now. Someone's calling from the 847 area code. 847. How's it going? Can I have your name, age, and do you think you give me good reasons to believe in a God? You there, 847?
Hold on, here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Can I have your name, age, and do you think you give me good reasons to believe in a God?
Nick. Yeah.
All right, Nick. How's it going, Nick? Do you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
No. Yeah, I could probably give you lots of good reasons.
All right, sure. All right, sure. Give me one.
Book I'm reading. This guy, something Anzel. This guidebook. He talks about all the ancient civilizations and why God is ingrained in human. So I could give you a lot of good reasons, psychological reasons why people believe in God, but I couldn't give you anything that is based in science or fact. I think it's as fable as it can get. What are we talking about though? I just decided to call in to see what's up.
All right, yeah, sure. So we're talking about the good reason to believe in a God. Yeah, there are people who believe in God for like psychological reasons, right? It gives them comfort, it gives them hope, et cetera, et cetera. But you can do that without a God.
Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing with that. Like, I know of some folks that are uber religious, right? And a lot of folks that would claim to be, very faithful, very religious. And I don't believe that they're religious, man, because if I claim that, and I truly believe that you're gonna fucking burn in hell, like, right? I'd be like shaking you awake to, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I don't think religious people are even religious deep down inside.
Okay.
I think they question their beliefs.
I mean, yeah, sure. I could agree with that, right?
With the exception of like,
okay, hold on. I also think that a lot of religious people also question their beliefs. That's not really what I'm questioning. The question here is, can you give me a good reason to believe in a God that you believe in? Like, for example, do you believe in a particular God of any religion or just any type of deist God at all?
If I had to categorize a God to believe in, it would be Spinoza's God. And so
I mean, Spinoza's God is basically Spinoza's God is equivalent to basically no God at all, to tell you the truth.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because Spinoza's God is basically just how nature forms and reacts. So that's basically equivalent to no God at all.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Right. Exactly.
Okay.
The only thing that makes sense.
Okay, so you don't believe in a God then?
If a God came and revealed himself to me right now, just appeared out of the fourth dimension and manifested in front of me, I don't think that whatever it is could convince me to worship it. So that's how firm I am in not believing there's a God. And if there is a God or gods, then I couldn't see myself worshiping some or believing in that, having a faith system and religion built around that. I think religion, is opiate to the masses, as they say, and if humans want to exist as
me neither. So we agree.
Outside our solar system, we got to evolve past that to become a type 1 civilization.
Yeah, me neither. So we agree.
Yep.
All right, cool. Appreciate you calling in. All
Yep.
right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and move on. I appreciate y'all. Go ahead and keep tapping that screen, tapping that screen. Beauty, how's it going, Beauty?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, how you been? We haven't talked in like 2 years.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's been good long time. A lot of things have happened.
Yeah. Because there was the I don't know if you're still in SPG, but I know
No,
Ramsey's tagged us in a post. I think he wants to
no,
do a gala this year. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go
no,
though.
no,
I may not be
no.
there. Yeah.
Nope, 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 nope,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah. So it's what's I don't what happened? You have an issue with with SPG? What's going on?
Nope, 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 nope. We are not into that. That is a whole bunch of drama, a whole bunch of negativity, a whole bunch of toxicity that we don't need in our lives at this point.
All right,
We are
yeah.
grown now.
Yeah, true. I
We
get
don't
that
need
too.
all of that.
I get that too. All right, so Beauty, yeah. So I already know who you are. Beauty's a friend of mine, y'all. So that's why we're talking like this. But so I know who you are, and you told me that you believe in a God. Now I
Oh, of
haven't for a
course,
while.
100%.
Cool.
I mean, with just how life has just been. I know you said something about um, like some people believe in God because of what they're going through. They need like strength and joy. But you say that we can do that on our own, but I don't see how we've been doing it on our own because it's so many people out here who are on a spectrum.
Right.
If they were able to, let's just say, find their joy or not be so stressful or not be so, I guess, full of issues, we would Like, I don't depend on like friends. I don't depend on somebody to tell them my issues, to tell them my problems, because nowadays in 2025, 2026, you go tell somebody your business, it's all over the news, it's all over the media, it's all over, and people are looking at you some type of way. So I find it better to talk to the man above, because I know what I tell him is only going to stay between me and him. And a lot of people will say, oh, well, he doesn't respond to you. I mean, with what I have going on, I think he's very much responding to me, because I was such in a bad place in Florida that I uprooted and I left everything from family to friends or whatever they were to me, associates. And I moved up north where I have nobody, where I don't have any family. I don't have any friends. I'm so far away from people. I don't think anybody would even want to visit me where I am, close to Maine. And I feel great. And I'm feeling all the abundance and fruitfulness from leaving where I was in that toxicity around family and the people I called friends, to being where I am. And I am being flourished where I am at this point. Like, I'm only living off what I have, and every day I'm eating and I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm taking care of my children, and I'm happy. Not happy in a sense where I have everything, like I'm a rich person, but deep inside myself, I feel rich, because I'm without.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I don't doubt that, right? Like, anything that you can do to make you happy is always great.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because my strength doesn't come from me. Because if it was up to me, I would have let go a long time ago.
Wait, how do you know?
I mean, I would have let go. If I didn't have the strength that he gave me, I wouldn't have the strength, because the things that I've been through from the time that I was 8 being molested to the time when I turned 15 with my mom, and the relationship that I have with my mom is like the most horrible relationship. I wouldn't be the type of person that I am today.
Wait, how do you
because
know?
A lot of people don't come with a lot of back in the day trauma, whatever.
Hold on, let me but Beauty, let me ask you a question, because a lot of people always say this, right? They say that I got the strength from someone else. My question is always, how exactly do you know that you wouldn't have been able to do it? Because like I've been through some pretty horrific things in my life as well, right? And I don't believe, I think that I'm the one who got me through it. I don't give it to anybody else. I think giving the credit to something else that you can't even show to be true, like, it cheapens your own strength. Like, you're the ones who got through it. You're the one who was strong enough to do this. You're the strong person. I don't think you should give it to somebody else. You made it.
I get what you're saying, but I feel like I would have gave up long time ago. The day that I found out of my status, I would have gave up long time ago. I would have gave up. I would have been like Judas, and I would have probably took my life, literally, because I was only 20. So I wasn't far into my 20s or in my 30s. I was in my 20s dating a guy who I thought was doing what he needed to do. And I was just such in a lost place. I didn't really have a good relationship with my mother. I didn't have a father in my life. Yeah, I was raised with 2 big brothers, but I was kind of like the only girl. So it was on the only choice that I had was to put myself in my faith. And my depression got so bad to the point where, I was smoking like crazy. I was a huge weed smoker. Got to the point where I got my license, and I was like smoking weed all day, every day, to just kind of suppress my issues and go along with the flow.
So Beauty, yeah, I do have to let you go because we're at 15 minutes, but I appreciate you, and then we'll talk again soon. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate you. All right, guys. Go ahead and keep liking the live. Let's go ahead and get us to 10K likes. Let's get to 10K likes. All right. So someone did call in from the 732 number. The person who called in from the 732, I don't know why you called in and dropped, but I was about to get to you. You were gonna be next, but you should go ahead and call in again. All right. So, anime, how's it going, anime? Are you at least 18? And do you think you give me a reason to believe in a God?
Yes. And then it's not specific. I don't know if it's as straightforward as your question is. At least in the sense of what I believe. Because I do believe in God, but in a sense of like all of reality of it, if that makes sense. Like everyone's gods. Like I kind of believe in everyone has like their own truths, if that makes sense.
Everyone has their own truth. I mean, yeah, everyone had like my truth is that I think Kendrick Lamar is the best rapper right now. So it's like, yeah, sure. But
So
when
I
you say
guess truth
everyone
is a
has,
bad word. More so in a sense of like your belief. Like everyone believes like their own thing. Like you believe more so not necessarily in a God, but in yourself more so, and like the reality you live in. I think other people do the same exact thing, but just in their own way. Like they use God. Like for instance, like what you guys were talking about just here recently. I know she was saying that she was given that it wasn't her, it was God who was essentially doing it through her. It wasn't she wasn't giving any credit to herself. It was God. And you saying that you need to give credit yourself because it essentially weakens that. I think it's the same thing. It's just in a different energy where you put it. Instead of giving to yourself, they give to God. God being essentially an extension of themselves.
right?
Saying God is everything and within anything. I just don't think it's like as simple as just like a simple word as like a label.
Right. So like that's always been my issue, because since we can't even show that a God exists, why would you not simply because the thing is when it comes to me, right? None of us operate that this way out of with anything else, because all of us need evidence for something for us to know or for us to believe in something, right? We all need evidence for something. Like for example, if I were to tell you that I have $1 billion in the Bahamas, follow me there and I'll give you $500 million. Are you going to believe me just because I said so?
Yeah, I get that.
Right. You're not going to do that.
Yeah, not necessarily. No.
Right. You're not going to do that. So that's always what I mean when people like give credit to something else is like, you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? Because you cannot show this something else even exists in the first place. So why not just give the credit to yourself until we can actually show there's something else out there?
True. Yeah, but I think where it is what I also believe is there is never going to be any kind of complete understanding of everything. And I believe there's a lot of ways, whether you call it energy or God or spirit or even yourself or whatever it is. There's a lot of stuff that's happening that is completely never going to be understood even to the end of time, kind of thing. And that's kind of what I believe is you really just have to focus on yourself and on yourself. The God within you, your energy, whatever you want to call it, and go forward being just like a better person. I believe.
Okay, great. So
Okay,
great. So how does this really give me a good reason to believe in a God then?
So I believe that you should believe in some kind of God, so to speak, to better yourself. Just solely for yourself. I think because doing so, it always comes back to, again, in a positive way. It always comes back to a community. So what you're talking on, I believe for other people it might be church or whatever it may be. I think a good reason for that essentially would be to better yourself.
Right. I mean, you can better yourself and find community without believing in a God, right?
You could.
Right, exactly. So
yeah, for sure.
Right. So if you can better yourself and have a community without believing in a God, then a God is not necessary for those things.
But then also within that, if you're kind of in a sense limiting to that's what you believe or that's what you have is what's in front of you, I think you kind of stop exploring, and not necessarily stop exploring, but over a certain period of time, it's just going to be there. You're not going to be able to understand or grow from that. You know what I'm saying? Like everything will be stagnant if it's forever that always. We're never not going to have it to where someone's going to believe something else. There's always something popping up.
I'm really, really struggling with what you're saying here. You're saying that if we don't believe in God and we just find community and better ourselves without believing in a God, we will become stagnant because we don't believe in something other than us. That sounds really strange.
Sorry, what you're saying, I do agree in a sense of you can do all that stuff without any kind of God, so to speak. I believe the it's just a word for me, I guess. So when I think of God, I think of just like everything and all of, you know what I mean, like omnipresent, like in everything, all at all once, all atoms, everything. That's kind of how I believe in that. So I guess it kind of is the same thing you believe, but also like it's kind of to each your own, I guess. I believe in all people's gods / truths. Like I don't think any of them aren't or are not real, because as soon as you believe something, you also like kind of make it and manifest it. If that makes sense.
Okay, so Shango, the African sky god of thunder and virility and sky, he's real because people who practice Ifa believe in Shango.
So for the person, that said person who believes it, it is real. Like they're practicing whatever they're doing to practice that said religion. That is all real to them, and that is making changes in their lives, whether it's a direct reasoning for said God, or it's their energy that they're using to pour into that to whatever it is. So yes, I would believe that God would be real to them, not to me, but to them.
Yeah, but like
but also I'm not because of that.
But I'm not asking if it exists to them or to a person, because a schizophrenic person can, like a dragon can exist to a schizophrenic person, right? That doesn't mean that, you know, dragons are real. So like it's more over case on, is this an actual thing that exists, not, you know, whether it's real to them or not. Because people who are deluded, yeah, when they're deluded, what they see is real to them, what they hear is real to them.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So I guess real. What I mean is the reality of what they're saying is, I don't think that exactly. Like, for instance, say like people believe in that God that you just said, or even just said a Christian God. Believing in that, it doesn't necessarily make it tangible and or real kind of thing, but that energy there is put towards it. So for me, that is still real. That energy released for whatever that may be that they believe in. That's what I believe is God, like an essence of that we carry. Like you choose just not to believe in a God because it's not tangible or real that you can touch or talk to or have any kind of relation with. But that doesn't mean that you still have God in a sense, because you, like who you are and the energy you pour into everything or whatever you believe in, that is what I believe is God.
Yeah, that has zero utility. Basically, God could be if you say that God is the energy that I put into anything, like when me and wifey have fun time at night, that's God. I mean, she be saying, "Oh God," but that doesn't mean that what we're doing is God, right?
Well, yes, not necessarily. Well, see, the thing is, it's in everything and everything. Like it's all atoms. It's a lot more than just that. It's not necessarily as simple as that either. You know what I'm saying? I do understand the utility. What I believe is just the word. It just doesn't do justice for what really I believe God is. Like what we're experiencing now, I believe, is what that is.
Okay, so basically, this in like what we're experiencing now with climate change, with basically a president who's a Nazi, all that is God. That kind of sounds weird.
It is. I mean, the whole entire universe, it's all chaos. You know what I mean? It's not good or bad. A lot of people put labels. It unfortunately is everything. Like you, me, like good, bad people, like whatever happens after hell, you know, that kind of stuff, like heaven, whatever you believe that, like whatever happens to you, like it is all God. Like, so what we get is, as a person, is the ability and if you privilege, I guess, is to be able to move in yourself through this reality.
Okay, yeah, I'm still not tracking, but I do appreciate you being up. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and keep it rolling and keep it moving. I do appreciate everybody who's here. Y'all go ahead and keep the likes going, y'all. Let's try to get up to 7K likes. Like I said, it's gonna be an early night. It is going to be an early night, so because you know me and wifey is going out as date night. So y'all go ahead and keep liking, keep sharing. Keep the chats going, y'all. I do appreciate that. Keep the chats going. If you would like to call in, please go ahead and call in. I did have a person who called earlier. For some reason they dropped out. I'm not sure why that is. But if you would like to call in and discuss what I have on the board, please go ahead and call in so we can go ahead and have that discussion. Once again, I appreciate everybody being here. And once again, if you would like to discuss what I have on the board, please go ahead and come on up and let's talk. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Let me give a couple of quick shout outs. Shout out to everybody who's watching me over on the Black Atheist Coalition. If you're watching me on Deconstruction Junction, shout out to you over there as well. I appreciate you guys there. For everyone who's watching me over on my Volcy Thoughts channel, I appreciate you there as well. All right, so over on my TikTok, J685, I'm really not tracking what you're talking about. I'm kind of confused. I don't know if you're friendly or if you believe or what's going on, but go ahead and let me know or call in or something like that, because I'm really not tracking you. I have no idea what you're trying to say, what you're trying to talk about. Alrighty, y'all. Alrighty, y'all. So we're just waiting for anybody to call in. We're just waiting for a guest. All right, y'all. So right now we're just waiting for any calling. We're just waiting for any guests. Once again, appreciate y'all being here. All right. So I am spirit. When I say your God, I'm talking about the God that you believe in. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to probably do a different prompt tomorrow. How's it going, Spirit? Are you at least 18? And do you think you give me reason to believe in your God?
Yeah, I'm at least 18.
All right, sure. Do you believe in any type of God?
I believe in a source, but I wouldn't say God. That's why I asked the question, what do you mean by your God?
When you say you believe in a source, what does that mean?
Um, I believe in life. I believe life is not something that we have control over, and we do not know the genesis or the origin of life, how life came about. And
From what we know, that
I
life,
call life the thought.
from what we've been able to research and we've been able to ascertain, life is essentially an emergent property of chemistry. So like abiogenesis, that's likely what the origin of life is.
Yeah, from abiogenesis, I know they talk about complex reaction of, chemical compounds coming together and forming complex molecules.
Mm-hmm.
And these complex molecules come again together and become single cells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can understand, and all of these probably happening within some conditions, temperature and pressure conditions, um, and an environment, a conducive environment that allowed for something like that to happen.
Correct.
But if you read further on that, it will still tell you that there is a gap between these complex molecules coming together and when they became conscious. I mean, when the molecule became conscious enough to source for its food and actually source for survival.
Correct. We don't know that yet. There's a gap in that knowledge, but I don't think just because there's a gap in that knowledge, all of a sudden we have to fill that gap with a God, right?
That's exact. I wouldn't fill it up with a God, but I'll call it life, and I'll say that's not until the scientists are able to get to that junction where they will say, okay, this is actually what happened chemically. This is the chemistry of things that gave rise to consciousness of this. I mean, when I say consciousness, the cells being aware of their environment and sourcing for survival or sourcing for wanting to stay. I call that life. That's the junction I call life. And frankly speaking, at any point where logic or science is able to come out and say, okay, this is how this happened, this is exactly what transpired here, I think I will withdraw my position of saying that is life.
I mean, I mean, us being alive. I'm really not tracking you, bro. Like, so you're saying that us being alive is a god? Like, I don't get what you mean.
Yeah, we both agree that there is a gap between the molecules coming together and the molecules becoming conscious enough to want to survive.
Yeah, there's a gap in our knowledge. We
Scientific,
don't know how that happened or why it happened, right?
exactly.
So
Yeah.
exactly. So we don't know why it happened or why it happened. We don't know how or why it happened, but that doesn't mean that, you know, that a god exists, like just like how you said.
No, I wouldn't call it a god, but
You said you'll call it
personally,
life, but how are you
I'll call it
using
life.
life? Because that's not really the scientific definition of life. Like, how are you defining it?
Yeah, I'm defining it with the ability for those complex molecules to source for survival, to source for food. That thing that makes them to say, okay, we need to grow, we
Mm-hmm.
need to feed, we need to reproduce at that
At that
single
stage, yeah, it's
cellular
life. No, you're correct. At that stage, that's when it's alive, right? Because it seeks to
yeah
survive. It has
to
metabolism.
survive.
It evolves, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
That at that moment,
Yeah,
it's alive. Yeah, exactly.
it's a life. So I call it life. It's not. I don't call it God. It's that factor, that gap, that factor that makes it realize at that point. I
That's
just
when it's
call it
alive.
life.
Yeah, that's when it's alive.
Yeah,
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 agreed. That's what it's. That's
yeah.
the
So
definition. So
yeah, I call that life. I call that life, and I think
right, but that's
that
what I'm
is
saying is that that's the literal definition. You're not doing anything different with the definition
no,
of
no, no,
life.
no, no. I'm actually following the scientific process, but I'm filling in the gap with the statement that this must be life. Whatever occurred at that point is life.
Right. Whatever occurred at that point, that's when it became life. Like everyone
Life.
agrees with that.
Yeah,
But what we're saying is that
yeah.
why did it happen? That's what we don't know. Why did it happen and
We
how did
don't
it
know.
happen? We don't know.
We
Right.
don't know.
But
We
once
don't
it
know.
does happen, then it becomes life. Yeah,
It
everyone
becomes
agrees with
life.
that.
Yeah, yeah. It becomes life.
Right.
That
So you
factor, the factor that we do not know, the factor that we cannot articulate, with the factor that nobody can talk about, not until it's actually discovered or interpreted, or somebody is able to bring out the details of what it is. I'll just call it life, and I think that's where we all come from. I don't know
yeah,
what it is
we all come from life. I'm
from life. Yeah.
really not okay. All right. So I do appreciate you, Spirit. I appreciate you being up because I'm really not tracking what he's trying to talk about. All right. So next guest, King. How's it going, King? Are you at least 18? And do you think you give me a reason to believe in a God?
Yes, I'm over 18. No, I can't give you a reason to believe in a God because I can't. Only God can change a person. I can't do it. But for me, I would say believing in something that's bigger than you.
Yeah, I believe in something that's bigger than me. Universal healthcare would be bigger than me. So I believe in that.
No, no, something that's bigger than you as far as when you know you can't do nothing, that you surrender where your limits is and just let the Most High take over.
That doesn't make any sense. What does that mean? Surrender and let the Most High take over when I know I can't do anything. What does that mean?
Let go of your ways, the way you think, the way you see things.
Why should I do that?
That's allowing God to come in. That's the only way.
That doesn't really answer my question. For first of all, you have to show a God exists first before you can make the claim that that's the only way to let God in. But the
Okay,
second thing is I would ask
let
her,
me
how do we even know that that's the only way to let God in? But the third way is why do I have to let go of my thinking in order for me to let God in? So I have to stop thinking. Like why?
No, you don't have to. You don't have to stop thinking. You can still think. You just get to a place where your thinking does not become the only way. Like you're open to letting God come in and show you a different way.
My thinking is not the only way, definitely, but if you're gonna say that I need to let God show me a different way, you have to actually show that a God exists first. How do you show that?
Okay. So let me ask you a question. When you look at the universe, does it appear to be designed, or is it an illusion of a design?
It's an illusion of design. It's not. It's not. Well, when we look out into the universe, we don't know if it's designed because like we have nothing to compare it to. So I wouldn't be able to even answer that question.
So you don't know if the universe is designed when you
No, I
look at it.
don't, because we have nothing to compare it to. Remember, we only have one universe, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay,
I mean,
to
you might have
explore,
multiple universes.
can you go into another universe like the move, like the show Sliders, and go into another? Can you do that? You can't do that, right?
No, I don't know. I mean,
Right. So
the universe is still.
hold
I
on,
don't.
hold on.
All we know is what
Pink,
they tell
pink,
us.
pink, 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 pink. This is not a difficult question, bro. I'm not trying to trap you here. Can you pick up a remote, press a button, and say, I'm going to universe B and universe C? Is that possible to do?
No, that's not possible.
Right, exactly. So that means that this is the only universe we have to explore.
That's not as we know so far. You
Right,
can't say that.
exactly. So this, as we know so far, this is the only universe that we have to move and explore in. So when you say that, when you look out to the universe that doesn't look designed, I can't know that because I can't compare it to anything else.
Okay, would you say the same thing for a human brain?
No, because we have something to compare the human brain to. We have the brain of other animals.
So when you look at the human brain, it looks designed to you.
It doesn't.
It doesn't look designed. The human
No,
brain.
no, because other animal brains are similar to the human brain. The difference between theirs and ours is that we have a speech center.
I
It's
know,
really the only
but
difference.
does that is that a form of design?
It's not.
What is it then?
It's evolution.
Does not with that evolution. Is there intelligence in evolution?
No, evolution is a sloppy, stupid process.
So out of a sloppy, stupid process, we existed.
Yeah,
Come on, brother. Are you serious?
bro. You realize how sloppy evolution is?
No, 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 no. So if you said we came out of a sloppy, stupid process, and voila, me and you existed,
Correct.
how does that logically and scientifically make sense?
I know it doesn't. It's not. It's not intuitive. It's not intuitive, right? But that's really how nature works. Evolution is biology, and biology is chemistry, and chemistry is physics, right? These
So
things all act
all those
upon each other.
things.
Let me just finish. These things all act upon each other. The entire process of it happening doesn't need to be a ladder. It's only geared towards survival. Like for example, there is a fish out there, right, that spends in its entire life in complete darkness. It's completely blind. That doesn't give any type of advantage, but because that's why it survived through its environment. That's what it used to survive through its environment. That's what passed on. It's the same thing with human beings. We have wisdom teeth that we don't need. We don't need wisdom teeth. These things are not supposed to be here, right? So we now have people being born without wisdom teeth because for so long humans were born with wisdom teeth. You see what I'm saying? So these things don't show a design. They show like a natural process of things happening. When we need them, we have them. When we don't need them anymore, we're not born with them anymore. This is not an intelligent process. It's basically a process of like natural selection, acting on your environment.
So you're saying don't pay attention to the process, just focus on the survival.
That's not what I'm saying, bro. What I'm saying is that the process doesn't show any design. It just shows that is whatever is conducive to your environment. That's all it's showing.
So our ability to reason is that design? Our ability to reason.
No, our ability to reason came from our environment. We had to create. I mean, basically, yeah, we had to develop reasoning. We had to because it was more that helped us survive in our environment.
So we had to develop reason. In your worldview, we had to develop reason due to a sloppy, stupid design. And voila.
I didn't
That's how
say a sloppy, stupid design. I said that the process of evolution is sloppy. It's a very sloppy process. And we know it's a sloppy process because we are born with things that we don't need.
Oh, you said we're born with things we don't need?
What are wisdom teeth, bro?
Hold on. Okay, but can you name something else that we're born with that we don't need?
The appendix.
Actually, no. The appendix has a purpose. I can't think of it right now, but it has a purpose. It's supposed to.
Yeah, it stores bacteria, but you can take it out, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't
So you
mean
don't
it
need
doesn't
it.
have a purpose. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have a purpose.
I didn't say it doesn't have about a purpose. I said you don't need it.
Okay, regardless of whether we need it or not, we both agreed it has a purpose.
No, when you say purpose, what do you mean by purpose? Like it has a function, like it does something? It does something, yeah.
Yes, that's what I mean. So for you to say evolution, we came from a sloppy, stupid design called evolution.
That's not what I said, bro. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. Stop putting words in my mouth. I didn't say stop, you stupid design. That's not what I said.
You said the process of evolution is a sloppy and stupid. You just said we came from evolution, right? Let me just.
Right. That's not as a design.
That's not a design.
No.
Now let me ask you a question: is there an origin to that, or did it always exist, or is there an origin to that?
What do you mean there was an origin to that? What does that mean?
Meaning, have we came from a liquid that turned into a mammal? That's what you accept?
No.
We came from. So, in your worldview, explain what evolution is to you.
Evolution is a theory of population genetics. Basically, organisms surviving in their environment through random mutations, natural selection, genetic drift, et cetera, et cetera.
And that process, is that intelligence, or what
It's not intelligent at all. Any study of evolution will show you that this is not an intelligent thing at all. Okay, it's only conducive to survive to your environment.
So to survive to your environment, that doesn't require intelligence at all.
It requires the organism to know how to survive.
Okay, so whoa. So it has to have knowledge.
What do you mean it has knowledge? What does that mean? What are you talking about?
No, you say it has to know how to survive. So that means
I said organisms have to know how to survive. Yes, organisms have to know how to survive. But evolution in and of itself is not some tangible, ethereal thing. It's just a process.
So can organisms reason?
Some can reason, yes. If you're a social species, you can reason.
No, not me. I know me as a human being can. So I'm talking about like a organism we see on a microscope. Can it reason itself? The actual organism itself. When you look at
you realize that you're an organism, right? Are you talking about bacteria?
No. Yes. When you look at bacteria in the lab,
bacteria doesn't reason. No, it doesn't have the processes that we have to reason.
But you just said, you say we came from organisms, right?
We are organisms. What are you talking about, bro? Do you know what you're talking about?
No, you said we came from organisms, and
we are organisms. That's what I'm saying. You know what you're talking about. Humans are organisms.
So okay, I get that. So when you look at an organism, when you look at an organism in a lab and under a microscope,
what type?
It doesn't matter.
No, it matters. Because human beings are organisms that can reason. Elephants are organisms that can reason. Birds are organisms that can reason. Bacteria are organisms, but they can't reason.
So I guess what I'm lost is in your verbiage, you said we came from evolution, and you're saying evolution is just a process of survival. It doesn't appear there's no intelligence in evolution at all.
It doesn't appear to be any intelligence in evolution at all. No.
So then why do we need so are we operating in intelligence? Then what are we doing? Just surviving? We don't need intelligence or nothing like that.
We developed intelligence in order for us to survive. We had to develop intelligence because it was better for us to survive in our environment.
We developed intelligence. How did that happen? You know?
Just like I told you, in order for us to survive in our environment, we had to become smarter.
How? Yeah.
What do you mean how?
How do we become how?
How do we become smarter?
Yeah.
Oh, we cooked food, things like that. We cooked food, we passed on information, our brains got bigger, things like that.
Oh, our brains got bigger.
Yep.
Okay. All right, no problem. So my question is, have you seen you say you accept evolution. Have you seen a change in like a species to another species?
A species to another species? What do you mean by that?
From my understanding of evolution, is one species that evolves into another species. So
No.
when we okay, help me out then. What's evolution? What's your definition of evolution?
Well, I need to know what you think a species is.
Everything that breathes, every living thing that exists, every living thing that exists.
So every living thing that exists becomes every living thing that exists. That's
That's what
super vague. You need to
I'm
actually so when you say one species become another species, what do you mean by that?
like based on the Darwinism evolution is one kind of species evolves into another kind of species, like
Right, but what do you mean by that?
the transformation process, like a tadpole to a fish or monkey to a human being, things like that's what you believe.
All right. So this is a thing. You need to understand how evolution actually works, right? Like
That's
I
what
said,
I'm
it's a
asking.
theory of population genetics, essentially.
Oh, so it's a theory. It's not a fact.
No, it's a fact. Scientific theories are facts.
Scientific theories are facts.
Scientific theories are facts.
Okay, I beg to differ, but go ahead. I'm listening.
Do you want me to put it on the screen for you?
No. I'm talking. Explain evolution. You were explaining it.
All right. So a scientific theory is a well-substantiated, broad explanation for natural phenomenon built from repeated testing, evidence, and validated hypotheses. Unlike the casual use of theory as a guess, it connects. Guess what I'm going to say next? Facts. So scientific theories are facts.
I don't know about that.
I just really led you the definition, bro.
Yeah, you read a subjective definition.
That's not a subjective definition. That's the definition. That's how we know what scientific theories are. Scientific theories explain what things scientific theories explain hows. Scientific theories explain how something is.
Okay, can you explain to me the process of how in evolution a bird can turn into another species?
What do you mean a bird turns to another species? What species are I think the bird's going to turn into?
Or the process of how a bacteria can become an elephant. Have you seen it before?
That's not what evolution says.
No, I'm asking you. Have you seen what you just? Have you seen evolution in your face before?
Listen to what I just told you. That's not what evolution says. So you have a very poor understanding of what evolution actually says. It doesn't say bacteria. It doesn't say bacteria become elephants. It doesn't say that.
Can you demonstrate evolution for me? Have you seen it before?
Yes, we've all seen it before.
Give me an example.
You ever heard of ring species?
No, what's that?
Okay, so when it comes to a ring species, right? What happens is that you get like several species of snakes, right? You could see that the snake on one side of a mountain and a snake on another side of the mountain are related, but they can't interbreed with each other. So when you go all around the mountain, you see that these species of snakes, they're all going to be like different colors or have different features to them. But one, like A could breed with B and B could breed with C and C could breed with D, but A and D cannot breed with each other. That's what the ring species is. And we've been able to prove that multiple times. That demonstrates evolution.
What about human evolution? How did we manifest?
We shared a common ancestor with chimpanzees and gorillas and orangutans.
Why not baboons?
We shared with them as well, but that one was farther in the past.
So you believe we came from monkeys?
We are monkeys, according to evolution.
Okay, so we are monkeys. So let me ask you a question.
We're part of the same primate family. We're not monkeys, we're primates. We're part of the same family. Like, for example, you see how our hands, right? You see how we have a thumb? And we can grip and we can do this. Yeah, you know who else can do that? Chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans, capuchins, baboons. They can all do this.
So from monkeys, they evolved. Then over the years, we evolved into human beings from monkeys.
Yeah, we all had a common ancestor, and then we just started to diverge when our environments got differently. When our environments got different. Sorry.
So how come monkeys can build or reason like we can?
Environment. Their environment did. As a matter of fact, which monkeys are you talking about? Because capuchins can.
So capuchins can create electricity?
No, I said they could reason.
No, I'm talking about how come if we evolved from monkeys, why can't monkeys do what we humans can do now?
Because we're more intelligent than them. We evolved differently.
But if we all came from the same place, I'm just confused. Why can't they do what we do now?
The same reason that you can't speak Swahili, even though we all came from Africa, right?
No, that's a horrible example.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. You said, why can't monkeys do the same thing we can do, even though we all came from the same place? Me and you descended from Western Africans. Can you speak Swahili? No. So because the reason why you can't is because you're in a different environment.
Come on, brother.
Listen to what I just said. You just asked me, why can't monkeys do what we can do if we had a common ancestor? Me and you share a common ancestry over in Western Africa. You cannot speak Yoruba, can you?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. You can speak Yoruba. Can you speak Swahili?
A little bit, yeah.
You can't speak Swahili, bro.
Yes, I can. I could learn to speak Swahili.
I know you can learn, but that's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know you can learn.
But a monkey can't speak Yoruba. A monkey can't speak Swahili.
Guess what they can do? No, they can't speak those because they don't have vocal cords. They don't have the vocal cords that we have. As a matter of fact, I should correct myself. Monkeys and chimpanzees do not have the vocal cords that we have, which is why they can't make the sounds that we can make. But because of their fingers, guess what they can do? Guess what they can learn? They can learn sign language.
I got you. I'm gonna let the other guy speak because I want to take over your live.
Not a problem. Appreciate you being up. Alrighty, guys. I do appreciate y'all being here. We're at 5.3K likes. Let's go ahead and try to get us a 7K likes, y'all. Let's try to get us 7K likes within the next few minutes. I do appreciate y'all being up. Y'all, the phone lines are still open, y'all. The phone lines are still open. I haven't had a call in a bit. So the phone lines are still open if you would like to call in. I do appreciate everybody being here. Shout out to everybody who's watching me on a Deconstruction Junction. And shout out to everybody who's watching me over on my channel, Volcy Thoughts. I do appreciate y'all. Mr. Philosopher, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And can you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
It's Velociraptor. Roar, like raptor.
Oh, okay. How's it going, Raptor? Can you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Well, I'm 48 years old, just so that we quash that identity. But that's a beautiful beard you got, my friend. Reminds me of 300. And I'm a published physicist through Cornell in biophysics. So I studied evolution, So, yeah, we live in a reality where a lot of people have a pedestal to stand on. And it's cool because as long as they're capable of learning, but what I found is in this junction of communication with one another, a lot of people aren't here to learn. They're just here to argue. They're all biased. So,
okay.
But I can, yeah, I've read all the books in religion, and all the books say that we are God. God is in everything, therefore I am God, right? But what is that? That makes me somebody that's a creator or cultivator of ideology, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a lot of people are lazy. Mm-hmm. They're not willing to do the work. They're not willing to understand mathematics, and how things are.
Cool. So, Raptor, what's a good reason for me to believe in a God? If you think you could give me one. If not, then that's cool. But I would rather talk to someone who would like to give me a good reason.
Like I study DNA, and when you realize that us as humans have 24,000 different types of DNA inside of us, mm-hmm. and then a grain of rice has 35,000, mm-hmm. then you start to realize that you're not really the God. We're just capable of communication.
Cool.
So
what's a good reason to believe in a God?
there is no reason. Believe in yourself.
Great. All right. I do appreciate y'all being up here, y'all. So been on for about an hour now. I'm gonna end off early because, like I said, I got date night with wifey and she's already showered up and looking good. But I'm still gonna be here, y'all. We're gonna be here for like probably the next 20, maybe 30 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up and get out of here. I do appreciate everybody who came in to go ahead and have this discussion with me. Tomorrow, again, I'm going to be on a little earlier. Today, I was on about 30 minutes earlier. I was on at about 6. I usually go on at 6:30. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on probably earlier again. Not sure what time I'll go on tomorrow. Maybe 6 o'clock again. We'll see what happens. If y'all are free, go ahead and come on through. Hey, I appreciate y'all for letting me hit that gift goal. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for making me hit that gift goal. And thank you so much for the person who sent me $20 over on Venmo. Sarah over on Venmo, thank you so much for the $20. I really, really appreciate that. Don't think that I hope you didn't leave yet, but Sarah for sending me the $20 over on Venmo. I really, really appreciate y'all. If you would like to support me, Venmo and Cash App are of course in the description of my YouTube. I didn't put them in here because I can't pin the comments here for some reason. But thank y'all so much for supporting. I'm gonna stay on for maybe a few more minutes. Y'all, the call-in lines are open. So if you'd like to call in, definitely come in if you'd like to call in, all right? I'm gonna stay on for just a few more minutes. And then I will likely go ahead and get out of here. So once again, y'all, the phone lines are open. If you'd like to call in, the phone lines are open. All right, we got a call from the 586 number. 586, how's it going? Can I have your name, age, and do you think you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah, my name is Mario. I don't want to like approach this conversation in a way of like giving you a reason to believe, but it's more so just giving you an explanation of why I believe, because I think that's the best way instead of just trying to convince other people. It's more so just explaining your position, because at the end of the day, we're all living lives just as real as anyone else, right? And no one else, especially considering the fact that we're talking about God, no one else knows your life better than you and God, right? So the best way to be able to explain that relationship is to kind of stay in that relationship. For me personally, I'm not a man who likes to say like, science and religion should be enemies. I think science is the how and religion is the why, if that makes sense, because there's a lot of laws, there's a lot of things that have occurred even in science that can't really be explained. And again, I don't know if you saw my for example, just one thing real quick. In the beginning of the universe, and all the math and all the physics, and that physicist can come back on the line and explain it if he could. There should have been equal amounts of matter and antimatter. Mm-hmm. And antimatter and matter cancel each other out. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that means there was one extra particle of matter, and from that one extra particle, the entire universe, came to be. So, things like that, and that's just the start, right? But things like that, you start to look at it, and if you don't really be honest with yourself and say, hey, there's definitely a higher power, without a doubt. There's definitely a God. I think you're kind of...
Isn't that just a God the gas argument? Because we don't know why there was one more or a few more extra matter than antimatter when the universe first got started, right? So hold on.
No, it should have been.
It should have been. Right, hold on, let me finish. Yeah, so it could have been or should have been that way, and we don't know why it wasn't that way. But just because we don't know that answer, that doesn't mean that God necessarily has to fill in that gap of our knowledge, right? It could be something else that we just haven't figured out yet.
But you see how you can apply that vice versa, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just
in terms
because
of disproving God.
yeah,
Because that
it
actually
doesn't.
gives more of a.
I agree
It's like
that it
beyond a
doesn't.
reasonable doubt.
Right,
type
I
of deal.
agree that it doesn't disprove God, but in order for us to believe something or accept a position, there should be evidence behind that position. And simply saying we don't know why this was the case when the universe got kicked off doesn't mean that, oh, okay, that must be God. That's just a God of gas argument.
Well, right. No, I'm completely with you. But like, God is beyond our understanding, anyways, right? Like, I mean, that's the definition of God, correct?
God is beyond our understanding. I'm not sure if, like, I mean,
well,
right
you
now
have the word God on your screen. So, what's your definition of God? Let's start there.
It's really what a person says to me, but I want the definition to actually have utility. If the definition of God is something beyond our own understanding, then is like, I'm not sure that could apply to anything, because quantum physics is beyond my own understanding.
Your personal definition of the word. Your personal definition of the word.
My personal definition of the of the word is what is some sort of anthropomorphic supernatural being that created the universe and watches over us, etc., like how religions usually say.
Right. But like, to be fair, that could just be a form that we like understand him. Like, he could show up as that form, because if he's beyond our understanding, for him to enter our understanding, he has to enter a form for us to be able to understand him, right? So, in that aspect, if you say it that way, again, I just want to know defining the qualities of like what would be God in this scenario, because again, if there's a different definition of God, like that's why I said earlier, it's based off of personal stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, people can have different definitions of God. I don't deny that, but when people get into super abstract things like God is equal to mathematics, that's just kind of useless at that point. That's basically equivalent to no God.
Have you ever heard of? Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever watched the movie The Man Who Knew Infinity?
No, I've never seen that.
Okay, I highly recommend it. It's honestly one of my favorite movies. But basically, it's about this man who has literally no like college or really formal training experience or schooling.
Okay.
Who basically provided mathematical proofs that broke, like, to this day, we're still finding out things that like he wouldn't have been able to know unless, again, and he said it was from a higher power. No one can explain it, and he unfortunately died an early death. But I would highly recommend you watch that movie, and you let me know how math and God aren't really connected at that point. Because math is like the language of God.
But you have to show a God exists first.
Right, but like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you watch this movie, you should watch it, by the way. He was basically making the statements of the maths. He was getting to the answer. And the problem with the professors and everyone is they needed him to show his work to prove it, right? But it was still the same answer at the end of the day. That's the thing with this stuff with
that doesn't really answer to what I said.
Was he right or wrong? If he was right or wrong, okay.
Hold on, wait, hold on. Hold on.
People didn't understand it, and they needed it.
Hold on, bro. You just can't just keep running on to running on sentences. Listen to what I'm actually saying. If you're saying that God and math are the same, you need to actually show that God exists first. That's what you need to actually show first. You just can't say that they're the same and boom, they're the same. We have to show that God exists first. In this movie, the one I'm just looking up right now, it looks like it's about an Indian guy who was a very, skilled mathematician. That's great. He's a skilled mathematician. I don't have any issues with somebody being a skilled mathematician, right? Because Indians are pretty great at math. I'll give them that, right? But these don't really show that a God. It just shows that he was a genius. The man who knew infinity. It's based on someone named Srinivasa Ramakrishnan. Yeah, he was a genius. He was a math genius, which is great. You know what I mean? But how does this show that a God exists now, or that math is equal to God? It doesn't really show that. Just because this guy was a genius.
Did you put me on mute?
Yeah, I did put you on mute because I was trying to say something. You kept on interrupting.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. I literally said the whole time I wanted to be stated don't focus on the movie. That was just an example, and then you just went off. So that's very, very cool to see how you run the show, that you really do want to discourse here. But anyways, like I was saying, his name, by the way, is Srinivasa Ramanujan. Like I was saying, the whole point of it is his answers were right. People didn't understand how he got to the answer, so they didn't believe it because he was proving something that wasn't even, that they didn't have proof of existence for. That's literally, it's the same freaking concept. It's the same concept. But my thing is, what are you looking for? Are you looking for evidence or proof? Because those are different things.
Not really, not in my eyes. Evidence is proof, unless we're talking about math. Because in math, yeah, proofs are something different. But if we're talking about
so you're
everyday,
like focusing on like math now. We can change it to something else. We can change it to science.
right? Hold
We
on,
can change it to chemistry.
I don't think you actually understood what I was trying to say. Proof and evidence are the same thing unless we're talking about math. In math, proof is something different. But when we're talking about like just
I
regular
know, that's what I'm saying. Why are you focusing on math? You keep like honing in.
All right,
I'm not.
So you're not understanding what I'm saying. Actually listen, actually track what I'm saying. Don't just listen to respond. Track what I'm saying. Listen, when we're talking about everyday,
Don't listen to respond. Track what I'm saying. Okay, go ahead. Yep. Go ahead. That makes sense. Go ahead.
Okay. So when we're talking about we're talking about everyday colloquial language, proof and evidence are the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Unless you're talking about math. Now when you're talking about math, proof is something different. But when I talk
What if we're not talking about math?
That's what I'm trying to get to before you interrupted.
Okay.
So while we're talking right now,
because you have a date, don't you? Your wife.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to 941. All right, so 941, I'm gonna bring you up. How's it going, 941? Can I have your name, age, and can you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of breaking up there. Can you get to a better spot and give me your name, age, and give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah, my age, well, immortal.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and keep it moving. I'm probably gonna be on for like the next maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and then we can go ahead and get out of here. All right, my wife says she wants us to get. My wife says she wants to go ahead and get out of here because she's hungry. I ain't gonna lie, I'm hungry myself. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna get out of here. All right, guys. So let me see if in the next 5 minutes I get another call or another guest. If I don't get another call or another guest, I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of here and end it early. But I do appreciate y'all being here, and I do appreciate the views, y'all. I do want tomorrow for us to get the views all the way higher than this because they're not as high. Maybe it's because I went on live early. That could be the reason. But tomorrow, I could be on longer. It's probably gonna be maybe a few hours. Tomorrow, I'm probably gonna be on live for probably from I think tomorrow I'll be on live. We'll start like around 3:30 or 4. 3:30 or 4, and we'll go to like 6:30. All right. So tomorrow's gonna be 3 hours, and I'm gonna I want everybody to be in here, okay? Whoa. Oh my, that's my antivirus. Hey, Abalid, I appreciate you for being here, Abalid, and you did get me to our gift goal, so I appreciate that. All right, Abalid, don't think I don't appreciate you. I do appreciate that. All right, 941. Can I have your name, age? Okay, yeah, he just dropped. He just dropped. All right, so I think that's gonna go ahead and be it. Oh wait, there he is again. There he is again. All right, 941. Can I have your name, age, and can you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah, I believe in God because He wakes you up every day. You know, constant thought.
Yeah, I can't hear what words you're saying, bro. You're gonna have to go ahead and speak into your mic, and I need your name and age, please. Still
Can you
there?
hear me now?
Yeah, that's better. Can I have your name and
Yeah.
age, please?
My name Cautious Turn, and I'm 36 years old, but we're really immortal. You know what I'm saying? Age ain't really exist.
Yeah, no, you're not.
You know,
All
the
right,
soul.
so no, you're not. So, can you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah, because I have a testimony.
Nah, testimony is not really a good reason. I mean, testimony is good enough for you, but it wouldn't be good enough for me.
Well, everything that's happening is prophecy, so that would be a good, you know, manifestation.
Prophecy of what? What prophecies are you talking about?
Everything that you see today is all written. You know, everything is written, and everything that happens
And what are those
is
things?
the reason behind it.
And what are those things?
Everything, like the wars, everything is spiritual.
Has there always been wars?
Yeah.
All right, so that's not
Well,
really a
definitely,
prophecy.
but it's different types of wars.
Right, but so that's not really a prophecy. There's always been wars.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not really a
But
prophecy because there's always been wars.
Yeah, but it's all written. Everything that goes on is a reason.
When you say it's all written, I need to actually for you to actually kind of explain exactly what you're talking about or what you mean.
Meaning everything that's in the Bible is happening in prophecy before your eyes. You know, I had an out of body experience. You know, I passed away and I went to heaven. You know, and I seen God. I seen the Lord Jesus.
Oh, what he looked like?
Face to face. He was sitting on his throne. He dark skinned. He got a white afro. And he had a sword. And I seen two giant angels with eyes all over their wings. You know, and when I was there, I seen a lion. I seen an all white lion.
Before you did this, did you go into your garden and eat one of the funguses that grew up off the ground? Because it sounds like you were on some shrooms, bro.
Oh nah, I don't do drugs.
All right, cool. So
everything was spiritual.
Everything was spiritual. And when did this happen? Because I know people who I know people who also like flatlined and they came back and saw nothing. So why did you see something and they saw nothing?
Yeah, but when I was there though, he told me before I came back, like I remember everything, but I'm just making it short because I see you in a rush. But he told me on my way falling back down when I was in spirit, when I was in my soul as a ghost, I was falling from outer space coming back to earth, and he was telling me he'll like preach the gospel and tell everybody he coming back soon, you know, and everything was real, everything was HD clear. I could see everything, I could remember everything. And on my way he was telling me, he said, preach the gospel, tell everyone I'm coming back soon. His voice sounded like thunder, you know, and I was there. I could go in details, but when
I was about 12 years old, my grandmother did a whole ritual of, you know, getting bird feathers and lighting them on fire, and she said that I will get a vision from the Lord Shango. And that night in my dreams, the Lord Shango came to me and he said that he's going to prophesy that one day I'll be the greatest bald man in the history of humanity and I will have a harem of women. Do you believe that because I said it?
Well, I believe.
Matter of fact, here's a better question. All right, here's a better question. Are you going to convert to Haitian voodoo because of what I just said?
Well, I don't put nothing above God, so at the same time,
right. But I need you to I need you to answer that question. Because of what I just told you, are you going to convert to Haitian voodoo?
Do I believe in voodoo?
No, that's not what I asked you.
Do I believe in voodoo?
Listen to what I'm asking you. I just gave you a quote unquote testimony, right? Because of that testimony, are you going to convert to Haitian voodoo or believe what I said is true?
Well,
it's just a yes or no, bro. It's just a yes or no.
Yes, I would take in what you're saying.
Oh, so you're gonna convert to Haitian voodoo. All right, cool. So this is what you need to do. All right. So go ahead and book a plane ticket. But go ahead and book a plane ticket to Port-au-Prince. I'm gonna take you over to the mountains, and then we're gonna see my aunt, and my aunt is going to sacrifice a chicken and a goat, and we're gonna gonna go ahead and do a ceremony, and you're gonna go ahead and convert to Haitian voodoo. And in November, we're gonna go to the pilgrimage of what's his name, of Gede, under a waterfall.
Okay.
And then we're gonna bathe under the waterfall of Gede. Are you actually gonna do all that?
Okay. I would not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So let me just explain to you what I was trying to. I'm gonna let you speak, but let me just explain to you what my
okay.
I'm just gonna explain to you what my entire experiment was there for me to get it across. My testimony isn't good enough for you to convert. So why should your testimony be good enough for me to believe you?
Yeah, but I'm not trying to force you into anything. I just want you to hear me out.
It's not about force.
Like I'm hearing you out.
Right. It's not about force. What I'm trying to say is that if my testimony isn't good enough for you to believe me, why should your testimony be good enough for me to believe you?
But I'm not saying that your testimony not good for me. It's good for me to hear from you.
But you're not going to convert to voodoo, are you?
Bad.
Not going to convert to voodoo, are you?
I don't partake in voodoo, but it's real.
It's not real, bro.
Says the Bible.
Voodoo ain't real, bro. If voodoo was real, if voodoo was real, then
that's another idol.
If voodoo was real, then France would. If voodoo was real, then France would have gone to hell a long time ago, and they're not. They're still the most powerful. They're still one of the most powerful countries in the world.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but that's an idol, though. Voodoo is an idol. You know, it's many gods on the earth, but Jesus is the King of all kings.
Right, but you're getting into preaching mode. How do you prove that Jesus was an actual God? How do you prove that?
How do I prove that? Because I see him in flesh.
Okay,
and, I see ghosts, I see spirits. I hear voices.
You've seen Jesus in the you seen Jesus in the flesh.
I seen Jesus in the flesh. He's seen me spirits. I see spirits walk the walls.
Can you call
voices?
Can you okay, that sounds like schizophrenia, to tell you the truth, but can you call Jesus right now and tell him? Can you call Jesus right now then?
Jesus is listening to us right now.
Jesus listening to us right now.
Spiritual.
All right, cool. Hey, yo, Jesus. Yo, Jesus, bro, I need like $1 million right now. You got me?
Yeah, but a lot of people.
Wait, hold on. I'm waiting for Jesus to answer. Wait, hold on. I'm waiting for Jesus to answer. Yo, Jesus, big bro, I need $1 million right now, bro. You got me?
He's not gonna answer you because you don't think the Lord.
Let's wait on Jesus. Let's wait on Jesus to answer. Yo, Jesus, bro, you got me, bro?
He hear you, but guess what? You're not going to hear from him because you're not thinking the Lord.
I mean, I
don't have any faith.
I haven't gotten a deposit of I haven't gotten a deposit of $1 million at the moment, bro. I haven't gotten a deposit of $1 million.
Yeah, but you have to believe. You have to believe.
Oh, so we have to believe. Okay. So
you have to believe.
You have to assume something is true for it to be true. Wow. Really?
Yes, of course. If you believe in something, it's going to exist.
All right. So if we believe in dragons will exist, y'all. Christ almighty. If we believe in dragons are going to exist. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I do appreciate everybody who was here. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here because, again, wifey is hungry and I'm hungry as well. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I got to take a quick shower and I'm going to go ahead and leave. Yeah. We do got to eat, y'all. We do got to eat. So once again, y'all, appreciate y'all being here. Tomorrow, please come back. I will be on live from at least 3:30 to 6:30 and between that time. In that time, let's get the views up to what they were previously, what they were before. Let me close out these this line right here. All right, y'all. So lines are closed. All right, y'all. So the lines are closed. No more calls. I'm going to go ahead and see y'all tomorrow. All right. So be baptized in Jesus Christ. You always come in on my lives and always crash out. Are you going to actually come and debate or not? Because I've given you more chances than I've given anybody else. Seriously. I've sent you requests. I've talked to you in comments. I've given you more chances than anybody else. I give it. All right. So Big H, come tomorrow, Big H, because I'm leaving. So baptize. You need to actually request up and have that discussion with me, because I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with you in the comments. Actually request. Stop being a coward, and actually do the debate with me, because you always say you're gonna come here. You're always gonna be on my top. Pause, but you never actually come debate. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. All right, but I do appreciate y'all being here. I do appreciate y'all being in the comments. Once again, next week I'm not gonna be here because I'm gonna be going to a funeral. I do have a family member that passed away, so I'm gonna be at that funeral, so I'm not gonna be there. But for everyone who watched to tonight, I appreciate y'all watching me tonight. Next for tomorrow, let's get us up to those views that we should be getting up to, y'all. Views are kind of low tonight, but that's okay. I appreciate y'all anyway. Remember, y'all, to always be smart, remain smart, always be observant. Remember that you are fallible, and